with Crossroads in the horizon here tonight, and a lot of questions need to be answered leading into it. We welcome you here tonight to ACL Prime 143. I'm the troublemaker Chloe James at your service for this evening, and we've got a lot on deck this evening as we have two major matches coming up here tonight as Howard makes his return here after the beatdown he suffered at Rebound by Midoriya Izuku, and he has set to answer as to what happened with Midoriya just a few weeks ago. And not only that, we will most certainly be hearing from the new number one contender for the World Championship as Chris is in action in our main event tonight. All this and more tonight here on Prime. And it seems as though that we're not wasting any time in regards to the action here tonight, as one half of the Bro Bros in Sands here tonight will be facing off in your opening contest for this evening against Howard. And you've really got to be thinking to yourself in regards to Howard's position, because he's facing off against someone who very precariously came close to becoming world champion back at the Grand Slam, if it weren't for also having to face off against Guts in the mix as well. But in regards to that, with Papyrus by his side here tonight, you have to be thinking to yourself here in regards to this one. These two have definitely been trying to make strides as a tag team again after Sands unfortunately did not succeed as being the breakout solo effort for the both of them. But this is where you got to be thinking to yourself, Sands here tonight has a chance to be able to potentially be able to redeem himself in that regard after an unfortunate end to his solo effort. But this is where you gotta be thinking to yourself here, because Sands is facing off against someone who, for all intents and purposes, has a lot to prove since the last time we saw him. And Howard, we have not seen this man since his attempt at becoming world champion back at Rebound back a few months ago. And you can tell by the look on this man's face after what we saw last Prime, where he basically screwed Midoriya Izuku and ensured that the man who we will see in the main event here tonight, Chris, will be going off to face off against Kanji Tatsumi at Crossroads for the World Championship. Now, if I'm in the position in regards to this with Howard, if I was in his position directly, I would be keeping one eye open, because as we've been no doubt seeing from Midoriya Izuku, he has gone off the deep end in more ways than one lately. That being said, however, we are getting set here for the opening contest here. And you can feel the intensity before the bell even rings, but the bell has rung in this regard, and Rock is not wasting a damn moment to show that he still has that tenacity in the ring here, and he's not afraid to break it out against whomever. But here's Sands coming up and just dishing out the hard-hitting strikes in his own right. But here's the thing you've got to keep in mind if you're Howard, and we're seeing it right here and now. The last time we saw this man, he was unfortunately unsuccessful in becoming world champion, but it wasn't in part due to his own disadvantage. It wasn't due to anything that he did wrong. Arguably, if Midoriya Izuku did not get involved in that match, we would be seeing Howard as ACL World Champion right now for a second time in his career. I feel like that is understated facts right now, that Howard should in fact be World Champion, and I will go to bat for that at every single opportunity because it is the truth of the matter. And you can see it right here, as he is absolutely blitzing Sands in the ring right now, and he is not wasting a single moment, especially with that foot stop, a marvelous foot stop right there for the top of the rope. But again, Sands is one tough cookie to crack with that one there, and he's not someone you would want to single out for any chance, but this is the thing as well. Rock is no stranger to facing off against Sands, both of them being on the Millennium Bread for a hot minute when Sands and Papyrus debuted back in Season 3 in that regard. And it's one thing in this regard to really consider that Sans and Rock have faced off against each other in the past in solo action. But it's realistically what we're seeing right here and now. And in regards to everything that we're seeing in this moment with these two, and how they're just dishing it out right there from the word go with this one here. And wait a minute, Rock looking to start off the end here with the rock drop just like that. And he's eyeing down Sans at the moment. Oh, and a big old enziguri right there. Right onto Sans just like that. But Sans taking full advantage and yeeting Rock right out of the ring with that one. And this is the thing, Sans taking full advantage of the situation here. Just meticulously wailing down on Rock on the outside. After more or less taking the full brunt of the damage up until that point. Like, Rock could have realistically gone for a Mark of the Wolves or even... like a Mark of the Wolves or even the Descent to Darkness with that one. But here's the thing. Sans has had his foot on the pedal in more ways than one. And oh god, we're seeing him with that one. Going right there for a choke from out of nowhere with that one. For rear naked choke right there. But wait a minute. Rock sizing up Sans and setting him right back down for a Descent to Darkness. Look at that, add a pinfall to that one. 1, 2, only a 2 with that one. Only netting a 2 count with that one, and Rock still seemingly trying to keep the advantage firmly within his corner with that one. But I think if he's going to try and beat down Sans, he's trying to pull out everything that he can, twisting the wrist just like that, maintaining that level of control throughout this contest here. But wait a minute, no, Sans with the fence press and the massive mudhole slaps just like that right onto Rock just like that, and 1, only netting a 1 for what it's worth with that one. And this is the reason why you do not allow Sans specifically to give you an inch, because he is about to put Rock away with the Megalovania. No! Megalovania denied just like that. But Sans ever the absolute tenacious beast in the ring immediately goes right back to work and starts to wear down on Rock Howard like it was nothing. Like he didn't lose any level of composure at all in that moment. And wait a minute, Rock going once again for the rock drop again. Wait a minute, looking for a Descent to Darkness one more time, and wait a minute. No, Sans denying that. And the wailing of shots onto each other. Wailing shot after shot onto each other, trading blow for blow to see who can withstand this many shots. Granted, we are well within the contest at this point. And Sans busting Rock open just like that and getting the advantage and just wailing Rock down and bringing him down to the ground just like that. And Sans looking to pick up the bones just like that. And another fence press wailing down into the skull of Rock Howard. Wailing down into that skull of Rock Howard just like that. And a Megalovania from out of nowhere. Out there with a out of nowhere there with a Megalovania. 1, 2, 3. No. Only netting a 2 count with that one. Only netting a 2 count out of that from Rock Howard. Sans has got to be fuming. He's withstood Descent to Darkness out there from Rock Howard, and yet Rock Howard gets out at 2 from the Megalovania. You've got to be thinking to yourself, if you're in Sans Undertale's position, this has got to be fuming to him right now. But then again, Rock may still be blurred out just like that, but no! Caught the leg again, and no, Rock continuously getting out of every single shot that Sans has got from him. Reversing it with a hip toss just like that. Noticing that Rock is using the ring advantage to roll out at the very last minute. Sans taking full advantage. Rock is back up, however. Getting him right back down with the drop kick from the back. Rock taking full advantage, yeeting him right back into the ring again. And now this is where Rock may have to try and finally maintain the advantage if he wants to keep that win. If he wants to ensure that the W goes to him after everything that he's done in this contest to this point. But Rock has to keep his composure. He cannot allow his emotions to sort of betray him with that one. And a winding kick just like that. Rock continuing to go for the hard-hitting strikes, setting up Sands just like that, and a powerbomb from out of nowhere, and a sit-down powerbomb at that. Rock pulling out everything he can, and wait a minute, a wild roundhouse right onto the bone skull of Sands, just like that, and he's looking to put the finishing touch to it. Mark of the Wolves, but that barely got to him just like that. Can't even make the pin. Rock Howard can't even make the pin. Sands' foot is underneath the rope, the ring position, betraying Rock Howard in this moment. In any other predicament, this match would have already been won. Rock Howard would have absolutely won this contest. But story of Rock Howard's career at this point, ring position has not screwed him over just yet. Circumstances not screwed over Rock Howard just yet in this match. He may still have it if he is lucky enough to survive this next onslaught from Sands here and now. But Sands continuing to just barrel away and just continuing to wail down the already bloodied up skull of Rock Howard at this point. And you have to be considering to yourself here with this one, at what point, if you're in Rock Howard's position, do you have to give in and survive what you can in order to make it out? In any predicament, this would be a killer, but here it comes. This could be bad for Rock Howard. Suplex on the top of the rope. Rock Howard getting to his feet before Sands is able to. And Sands, no! Rock Howard biding his time. Luckily biding it enough to go for the combination again. Rock Howard is still alive in this match for what it is worth. And he is not going down. Cracking open Sands with a savant kick just like that. Still trying to wear down on Sands as much as he can. And that enziguri off the ropes again. Still barreling down the shots after shot after shot. Setting him down just like that again. And once again, a second wild roundhouse. You gotta be thinking to yourself, this is gotta be it. This is gotta be getting so close to being done. Setting it up. Mark of the Wolves again. Sands isn't close to the ropes. Rock barely getting it draped over. 1, 2, 3. And Rock Howard managing to close it out even after everything getting in his way. And Rock Howard here tonight proves that despite everything that has happened, he is still here, and he is still well and truly deserving of being in this position. But we all know that's not the end of his time here tonight. We all know that he wants to get something off his chest, so I suppose let's get to it.
I think you all know by now why I'm out here. And for those of you who aren't, let me remind you. Over a month ago now, I had the chance to finally become world champion again on my own terms. Without any kind of baggage from my Uncle Kane keeping me down. No more regrets for my time under his wing, or being his heir of darkness weighing me down. I finally had that chance to become world champion fairly against Kanji after redeeming myself in his eyes and the eyes of you all. But there seems to be one person who didn't seem to get that message. And yes, I'm talking about you, Deku. See, Deku seems to believe that this all has to do with what the definition of being a hero is in his eyes. Like him taking his anger out on me for not being able to be a champion himself again by now is somehow my fault, and he had to punish me in order to make his point. Well, it took me a few weeks of recovering from the 3 smashes to the head I took that night. But when I did, I finally came to the clearest thought I have had in a very long time. That Midoriya Izuku, who entered this company the same year as me and became one of the aces of this company, is dead. Whoever this version of you is, Deku, it's not the same person that All Might gave his powers to selflessly, who helped those in need not out of a promise or a reward or to be loved and adored by others, but because it was the right and just thing to do. You've lost the way of being a hero to the fans, to this company, and above all else, yourself. Your actions up until the gauntlet were proof of that, and I ensure you could not get the title shot the easy way. That you had to earn it the same way I did, fairly. And I will be there every single moment until I bring back the real Midoriya Izuku from you, not this jealous, self-obsessed villain you've become.
Oh, venomous words coming out, but honestly, not a single lie was spoken in this moment. I will happily say that here. Rock Howard, if you think you could bring that one out back from Midoriya, go right ahead, but I don't think he's there anymore. I'ma be real here. But moving on, as we will here tonight, we get set for our next contest here of this evening. As we get set for Prime's second Tag Team Gauntlet Qualifier, as Yuri Low and Flynn Schifo, collectively known as Brave Vesperia, former Prime Tag Team Champions even, Brave Vesperia, look to face off for a shot at the Gauntlet, of which we already know the Bloodsuckers, Kira, Yoshikage, and Hazama have qualified for. But their opponents here tonight are one tag team in particular that I would argue have been one of the most dominant teams, both as solo stars and as a team, period, since their debut. We saw the return of Kiryu Kazuma back at the Gauntlet after being away for several months. And tonight, alongside him is Goro Majima, collectively known as the Mad Dragons, the two Yakuza, formerly of Ultimate Yakuza, alongside Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu, having made amends on the Millennium brand last season. They are now here on Prime and looking to make a statement of intent here on this brand. And you've realistically got to be thinking to yourself in regards to this, because you're looking at two men in this ring right now who are former Millennium Tag Team Champions, one of whom is a former Millennium Champion, period. And if I was in the position right now, in regards to what we're seeing here, I'd be shitting my bricks right now if I were Yuri and Flynn. But nevertheless, here for our second contest of the evening, and let's get it on right here and now. Yuri and Kiryu starting us off right in this contest here. And Yuri immediately, looking to immediately take advantage of it, but Kiryu is outpowering Yuri just like that. But Yuri, you've got to take into account the fact that what he makes up for in raw power and strength, what he lacks in raw power and strength, he makes up for in the tenacity and his slickness within the ring. But of course, we are already seeing Yuri Lowell get bloodied up just like that. And we're only in the opening minutes of this match. So right now, we're seeing how the raw strength of Kiryu Kazuma has not faltered since we last saw him here on Prime. But also, here's realistically the thing you've got to take into account with this one here. You've got to realistically take into account the fact that out of everyone in the gauntlet so far, we have seen Soldier and the Ultimate and the Remnants of Despair, I should be saying, sorry. Both qualify for Millennium. And last Prime, we saw Hazama and Kiryu of the Bloodsuckers both qualify for that event. So realistically, that is already a packed tag team gauntlet as it is, of a bunch of monsters, bastards, and some of the most versatile men within the All-Star Callings tag team scene, period. So whoever ends up making it to after this match here tonight and makes it to the gauntlet, good luck, babe. That's all I gotta say. Because realistically, if Yuri and Flynn make it to the gauntlet, I do not see them making it that far into it, to be quite honest. Ultimate Yakuza on the the Mad Dragons, I should be saying. God, I'm so used to considering them as Ultimate Yakuza, to be honest, after so long of them being teamed up with that bastard for Yahiko Kuzuri, but that's another time. Point is that while I do definitely respect what Flynn and Yuri have brought to the table, while I do definitely respect what they have been able to do, and I do respect their tenacity and their in-ring ability and their cohesiveness as a unit, you've got to take into account the fact that when you're looking at the landscape, they may not last as long as the Mad Dragons might in that matchup, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. And yet I say all of that, and Flynn has taken the advantage for Brave Vesperia in this moment and taking full advantage of the situation, absolutely trying to maintain control of the match. However, it is not looking good for Goro, not looking good for Flynn in this moment, as Goro completely goes for the killing blow. Not the killing blow just yet, but goes right there for those high knees right into the gut of Flynn Shifo, just like that. Using his legs to full precision, like a weapon in their own right, using his legs to full precision and taking full advantage of the situation, continuing to just wear down. But Flynn making the tag to Yuri in that moment. Rebounding off the ropes and a hip toss just like that. And Flynn ensuring that Goro cannot make the tag right there as Kiryu was calling out for it in that moment. Continuing to wear down slowly but surely right there onto Goro Majima just like that. Wearing him down just like that and setting him up for the swindle. Laying Goro down just like that for the swindle. And looking to drag Goro into their corner now. Looking to make it the tag, and wait a minute. Would be about to set him up for the brightest star in the night sky. The eponymous Brave Vesperia laying down Goro Majima just like that. Flynn thinking this might be it as he lays down Kiryu like that. 1, 2. No, I think you're gonna need more than that in order to keep Goro or Kiryu down. The Mad Dragons aren't gonna go down like that, boys. I'm sorry to have to tell you this. And laying him down flat. Laying down Flynn Shifo flat. With a Shimano sidewalk slam. I've been told to specifically specify that it is a Shimano sidewalk slam. Because if not, if I don't specify that, I'm gonna get killed. And speaking of getting killed, Killing blow incoming for Flynn. Shifo! And killing blow hits the target. But Kiryu, on the other hand, is not able to make the pin as Flynn gets right back up and at him. Kiryu, on the other hand, ensuring that Flynn does not maintain the advantage for long. Going back and hitting the hard-hitting strikes right there. And oh god, what are you doing here, Kiryu? Jesus Christ! Taking him for a swing and god, hitting him right there with a Shining Wizard just like that. No hesitation, immediately going for the Dragon Stomp. Oh! Planting him down just like that. And immediately ensuring that he does not interfere. Going for the pin. 2, 3. No. Kiryu thinking to himself, this guy survived a killing blow and a Dragon Stomp. What the hell am I going to have to do to keep him down? And I'm going to keep it real with you. Flynn is quite possibly the most competition that Kiryu could probably have on that team, and I'm going to be real with you right now. There's a lot that Flynn Shifo can take in regards to damage. Like, out of the two of Yuri and Flynn, Flynn is the absolute undisputed powerhouse of that team, but he knows how to definitely take and dish out the damage for good measure with that one. Easily, however, making the tag right there to Yuri, and while Yuri may be a bit outclassed compared to Flynn in regards to this one, let it never be said that he doesn't like a challenge in regards to that one, being planted down just like that. And despite being busted open by Kiryu early in this contest, he is yet to take enough damage so far in this contest here, continuously wearing down on Kiryu just like that. Hitting him hard with a lariat as well, rebounding both off the ropes with that one there, utilizing everything to his advantage in order to try and keep the Dragon of Dojima down. But no, the Dragon reversing the Irish Whip just like that, trying to catch him right there at the moment, and no, Kiryu getting out of dodge immediately from Kiryu's grip, and wait a minute. Oh! God! Air raid siren from out of nowhere right there by Yuri Low, just like that, and setting him up into position. Heavenly Blade Wing! Not a Heavenly Blade Wing, but setting him up nonetheless and setting him right back down, planting him into position for that torture rack slam, and a swindle immediately right there onto Goro Majima just like that. And here it comes, setting him up. Heavenly Blade Wing immediately. And wait a minute, what on earth is Yuri faking here? Oh! Laying him down flat just like that. And Yuri hesitating. And Kiryu immediately taking advantage, and Goro is laid out flat. 1, 2, 3, no! Kiryu did not even have to make the save, but if he didn't make it in time with that one, if Goro didn't kick out, we may very well potentially have seen Brave Vesperia take the win just like that. Now Goro taking a fair brunt of the damage with that one. Yuri, on the other hand, is setting quite the example right here, as Brave Vesperia appear to be taking some form of advantage in this contest, surprising everyone in regards to this one, as they're holding their own against the Mad Dragons for what it's worth. Now Flynn right back into the ring now, just like that. Setting him up, and wait a minute, no! Goro getting the hell out of dodge just like that. And now Goro wailing down on those armored legs of Flynn. And now wait a minute, Tag and Kiryu right back in. And a double backbreaker from both of those men. And it's not looking good as Flynn is rolled to the outside. Oh my god! Springboard leg drops right there by Kiryu Kazuma. We saw a lot of his more upgraded arsenal when he returned in the gauntlet just a few weeks ago. And yet, even despite everything, he's going right for it again. And oh! Huge big boot just like that. And continuing to wear it down, but no, Flynn continuing to try his best. Sweeping and taking the advantage of it just like that. Hard-hitting German suplex. Flynn going for the pin, and no, only a barely not before the 2 count. Are you kidding me? And right now, this is realistically still anyone's game at this point here. It's realistically still in anyone's ballpark, all considered with this one. And a hard-hitting combination of strikes right there by Kiryu Kazuma continues to show why this man is still one of the most revered men in this company for a reason. Continuing to wear down shot after shot, body for body, bit by bit. You name it, he's probably got it all in good... Oh! All in good nature with that one. And continuing to wear down, keeping Flynn in the corner just like that. Right there with that Shining Wizard. And now... No! Kiryu was looking... What on earth was Kiryu thinking? Because he did not drag him into the corner, and that may cost him dearly with that one. Flynn suplexing Kiryu into the corner. Flynn getting a second win out of that one. Somehow, some way, managing to get a second win out of it. Making the tag right there to Yuri Low. Right now, it is not looking good for Kiryu, who might have made a serious critical error on his part. Neckbreaker from out of nowhere right there by Yuri Low on the other hand. Once again, it is not looking good for Kiryu, who reasonably could have put an end to it right there and then. But now, Kiryu is not looking good, and realistically, if he could realistically have it, he could have him dead to rights right here and now. Laid him out just like that, once again with that hard-hitting combination of strikes just like that. But no, Kiryu from out of nowhere hitting him down right there with his own level of strikes. Now sending Yuri into his own corner again. And now, there we go. That's what I thought was coming. A second killing blow right there to Yuri Low, about to hit the target. And Goro ensuring no distractions. Making the pin. It's only a matter of time. 3. It was a hard-fought battle, I will say this. It was a hard-fought battle for Brave Vesperia here tonight. But on this night, Kiryu and Goro made it clear that they will be going to Crossroads for the Gauntlet.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a... We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. With any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Do it our way. What would we do, baby?
what we do without us. And there ain't no nothing we can't love each other through. There's more to life than what you're living. So take a chance and face the wind. An open road and a road that's hit. A brand new life around the bend. There were times. As long as we got each other, we got the world spinning right in our hands, baby, you and me. We gotta be. It's everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. These days are ours. Share them with me. These days are ours. Happy and free. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
And we are back. And as we get set for your main event of the evening, the lights turn dark here tonight as we await the arrival of one man in particular that we have not seen since Rebound. Although we have seen his new teammates, as it were, in the Bloodsuckers. Well, 2/3 of the Bloodsuckers recently, as they made their way into the Gauntlet just last Prime. But tonight, here in the main event of ACL Prime 143, Ken Kanji, who has not been seen since the event at Rebound, is looking to finally make his reappearance here tonight. And at that, looking to make a clear statement of intent that while his mercenaries, as it were, have basically been successful, he's wanting to regain his own level of success. And reasonably, the Tokyo Ghoul has a lot to reasonably consider on his own success. And especially to that end, his opponent here tonight has a lot of momentum, as he is the man who won the Gauntlet for the Gold just last Prime to become the #1 contender for the ACL World Championship at Crossroads. As this is the man that Kanji Tatsumi will be facing off against coming a few weeks from now. And while it has definitely been a roller coaster career for the man who has gone by many different monikers in this company, reasonably speaking here, Chris has got a lot to prove to himself and to everyone around him as he once again has a shot at becoming world champion at Crossroads. But tonight, he has got a lot to prove in terms of his solo action without having to run rampant against his opponents. And there we go, we're all set. This is your main event tonight for ACL Prime 143. It is Chris versus Ken Kanji. Let's get it on. And immediately the Tokyo Ghoul is taking full advantage of the contest here. And while Chris is definitely trying to maintain control, you cannot underestimate the fact that Ken Kanji is looking to absolutely brutalize this man before he goes to his contest in a few weeks against the world champion. And reasonably speaking here, there is a lot to continue to think about, especially given the fact that Ken has a lot of momentum to regain after losing twice to Terra and losing the crossover championship at that in that regard. And it's one of those things where we're looking at reasonably a first-time encounter, despite the fact that both Chris and Ken Kaneki have shared the locker room here on Prime for a very long time at this point. These two have never come to blows against one another. But Chris reasonably has a lot to consider in regards to where he is going to go with this one here. I mean, in a few weeks, he will be facing off for the World Championship. He's got a lot to consider in regards to that. He cannot, however, let that distract him here and now. He needs to maintain focus leading into every competition going forward, as even a little bit of a distraction will absolutely kill his confidence going forward with that one from there. And that is not something that you want when facing off against someone like Kanji Tatsumi, who has been through a lot of hard-hitting challenges since becoming world champion, and has since faced off against the odds. And right now, Chris is making it clear that he is not going to go down without a fight. Bringing everything from the opening minutes of this contest against Ken Kaneki. Trying to beat him down already, going for the pin with that one. But Ken Kaneki is not letting him slip for even a minute with that one there. Wearing him down bit by bit by bit with that one. Big sweep with that suplex just like that. Chris continuing to keep Ken Kaneki on the defensive with that one. But a hard-hitting elbow, but Ken... Oh, and another hard-hitting elbow. Chris immediately getting back up after the first one. And getting slammed immediately with another one. Chicken wing suplex immediately following up that one there. And Ken going up top. Chris, on the other hand... No! Barely clipped him, and Chris immediately taunting him. Probably bad form right there for the number one contender. But Ken, on the other hand, looking to take advantage of the situation, wrapping his arm and twisting it right there on the outside. And continuing to wear down. But Chris, on the other hand, has taken a variable amount of brunt of damages just like that, but he has maintained control for a fair portion of this match so far. So let it never be said, right there with the lung blower neck breaker, just like that, that he is still maintaining every sense of control in this matchup to this degree. The referee immediately trying to bring this matchup back into the ring here. Continuing to wear it down, and a hard-hitting lariat right there by Ken Kaneki just like that. Right there with a sling blade right there into the drop kick. Sling blade move, our god, just like that with the drop kick as well for good measure. And now Chris is flat on his back just like that. Ken, on the other hand, looking to put the finishing touch just like that, looking for a bloodlust just like that. And that may have him down just like that. 1, 2, no, not even close to 3 with that one. Chris, on the other hand, continuing to show that he still has that fight in him. And he's pulling it out with the Gaia grip just like that. And no, Ken breaking out of the Gaia grip like it was nothing, and a float over DDT for good measure as well, following it up immediately after that. Sizing him up for an elbow drop immediately after the fact as well. You have to imagine. No! And a sling blade right there by Chris onto Ken. And this is realistically... No! Chris getting reversed just like that. And Ken immediately going back to the well, taking the advantage onto his position again with that one. And Ken taunting Chris on the outside as if to try and just tease him a little bit, despite the fact that he is so out of it at this point. Here in a top rope clothesline just like that. And continuing to just... No! Ken getting reversed as Chris immediately gets back into the ring, biding his time slowly, waiting for Ken to get back in. Ken going up top, and wait a minute, no! Chris bringing him right back down to earth just like that. No, those kicks right there by Chris denied, and another sling blade right there into the drop kick. Hits Chris right dead on target. Ken trying to go for the pin, and one, no. Ken removes himself from the pin just like that, slowly biding his time to get back up before immediately resuming the assault right back onto Chris just like that. And Chris in return giving him another sling blade in return with that one there. And going right back to sizing him back up and setting him right into the corner again. Going right up top. And right now it is not looking good for Ken right there. Right there with the crossbody. Wailing down on him just like that. Twisting the knee just like that. Twisting that knee like it was nothing. Continuing to wear down at the legs. Good way to cripple Ken right there for most of his offense, as it does involve utilizing a lot of his leg power just like that. But again, reasonably speaking here, you've got to be thinking to yourself here in regards to this one. And wait a minute, no, Ken may very well have it with this one here. Sizing him up, and a bloodlust immediately hitting the target. This might be it. This might be it. No, it's not it. That's not it. Chris is still in it to win it with this one here. Maintaining after every bit of that assault, Chris is still in it after everything that Ken has thrown at him so far in this match, and he's still going at it. He's still pulling out everything that he can, setting him up, and no, catching the arms of the Kamagoye just like that. And now Chris immediately, no hesitation, setting him up! Setting him up and laying him right down. 1, 2, Mad Fantasy does not win it for Chris in this moment. And Chris going right back to the well, sending Ken into the corner. Forearm smash just like that into the corner. And right now Ken trying to get out of dodge, sweeping him right back down onto the legs. Sweeping him at the legs, sending him right back down. Chris going right back onto the same, going on for the same maneuver as well. And now sending Ken right into the corner with that one. Now with that one, and setting it back up with that one. Going right back onto the assault again onto Ken Kaneki. Wailing on him just like that, and continuing and just beat him down just like that. Chris has to be thinking to himself, what on earth do I have to do? And I think we just answered that question. He just answered that question for me. Setting him to the outside, and a tope DDT through the ropes. Chris showing absolute strides here tonight that he is not going to go down without a fight against Ken Kaneki, and especially not against Kanji in a few weeks. He's pulling out everything that he can in order to show that he is certainly material to become world champion and then some. And Chris eyeing down Ken on the outside just like that. Recovering himself in the ring right now. Going up top, what on earth are you thinking? And an elbow drop right there to the outside. And continuing to pull blow after blow onto the Tokyo Ghoul just like that. Sending him right back into the inside just like that. He could be looking to put an end to it just like that. Going for the Kamagoye one more time. But this is it. If he hits a Mad Fantasy one more time, if this connects, Ken is done! That's gotta be it, right? That has gotta be it. 2, 3. And you can tell the exhaustion on the face of Chris right here in this moment says it all. He went through hell in this matchup here tonight to prove that he does in fact have it to become world champion. That winning the gauntlet was no fluke. That he can in fact win the big one without anybody getting involved. And tonight was another example of why this man in particular may very well have Kanji's number if he brings this same level of energy to their matchup at Crossroads. But I know for a fact that we're not done here, because the man who will be facing off against the Electric Rebel, our world champion, has a lot on his mind after this win tonight, and especially after his win last Prime. Bold words from the number one contender, I'll tell you that right now. And again, if he brings that same energy to Crossroads, we may be seeing a new world champion come out of that event.